Hey, happy Monday, everybody. Here with a little bit of Monday motivation. I want to talk about success and happiness. But first, I want you to close your eyes for a second and imagine one of your greatest successes, some event that brought you a tremendous amount of happiness, whether that's getting married or making some sports team or a program that you had worked really hard to get into or to make. Whatever it is, close your eyes, picture that. Remember how good it felt, how happy that success made you feel. Now, I want to tell you a quick story. I had a friend, I've got some notes here. I had a friend that dreamed about going to Harvard. He really, really wanted to go to Harvard. He had the sweatshirt and the hat, and he would doodle H's on his notebooks, and we gave him a hard time for that. Um, and he did really everything he could to achieve that dream. He made a tremendous amount of sacrifices, passed up on a lot of fun, some of which he's probably happy that he passed up on. Um, thank goodness that camera phones and social media didn't exist back then, but that's a totally separate story. Nevertheless, the amount of effort, the amount of sacrifice that he made to achieve his dream was just hard to articulate. That being said, he made it. His dream came true, and he made it to Harvard. And I remember the day he got onto campus, he called me, and he was so happy. I mean, the emotion in his voice just came right through the phone. Said it was a dream come true, one of the happiest days of his life. Just a little side note on Harvard. It's an incredibly beautiful place. So gorgeous buildings, groomed lawns. In fact, I'm going to bring up a couple pictures here. This is the freshman dining room at Harvard, and this picture is the dining hall at Hogwarts. Yep, the magical Harry Potter school dining hall. Coincidence that they look virtually identical? I don't know, but the point is that Harvard is a pretty magical place, and that my buddies' similarly magical feelings were not unlike the feelings of an overwhelming majority of students that go to Harvard. For many, it's one of the happiest days of their lives. So, why is it that according to a Harvard review, as many as 4 in 5, 80% experience depression while they're enrolled at that magical place? In fact, the same review says that nearly half of the students there experience debilitating depression to the extent that they can't function during their time at Harvard. My friend was in that group. The contrast to some of those later phone calls in those darker times, and that first kind of dream comes true phone call was amazing. But what happened? What happened? How can a place that created that much happiness be the cause of that much depression, that much darkness? Um, as it was for many, his success was a prerequisite for his happiness. What makes that even more challenging is that without continuing success, at least as success as he defines it, and as most people define it, the happiness just disappears. And the past success, well, that was at best taken for granted. At worst, it actually was forgotten or worked at something to make him less happy in the future. So the problem isn't that success leads to happiness. It does, and that's not a bad thing. The problem is most people, how they, how they maybe we define success, and that's what I want to talk about really quickly today, because I want to tell you that, or I want to ask you: are you letting your success be defined by others? Are you letting your success be defined by comparing yourself to others? Are we letting our company's success being defined by comparing our company to other companies? We've talked about this, and we've all probably answered yes to that question at times from time to time. But I'm here to tell you that the secret to success is defining our success not based on a comparison to others, but it's based on consistently improving ourselves, and also on improving others that we're working around and that we serve. So we are successful because we improve ourselves consistently and indefinitely. And I'll add today that we are also successful because of how we help and serve others in their pursuit of being better. So we're creating our own success, we're creating our own happiness, and by serving others, we can help to create happiness for others at the same time. From a work perspective, it goes without saying that in addition to feeling really good, there's a real business return to creating happiness and creating success for others. Is there anything that we can do better in a relationship business than to create success and happiness for our partners? I don't think so. So I wanted to finish with a handful of ideas that will help you to make yourself better and to create happiness and success for those with whom you live and work. Number one, specifically acknowledge and maybe even write down 3 things you're thankful for each day. Number 2, write down the best thing that happened to you each day. Some days it's going to be harder than others. And read it to yourself out loud. Number 3, exercise. Enough said. Number 4, meditate just for a couple minutes. It'll make a big difference. And number 5, send a thank you note, a text, a message, a voicemail, an email, whatever. Send a quick note, a thank you note to someone for something each day. It will make a huge difference to you and it'll make a huge difference to them. So make yourself better today and have a great week. Thanks, everybody.